Hello, friends. This is Tanya from North Star Fitness, home of CrossFit Winnipeg, and welcome back to Three Things, where we share three tips or action items to help with your health, fitness, or performance. So today's three things are going to be three types of meditation for people who don't like to meditate. So, I'll give you a little bit of background on this one, which is that when I originally started meditating about 7 or 8 years ago, um, it was really something that I had a lot of trouble getting into because I found that most of the guided meditations that were out there were usually related to your breath. And so the problem that I had with that is I felt like anytime that I would focus on my breath, I would be tempted to try to control it. And I had a really hard time just letting it happen and noticing it, which is kind of the point of the meditation, right? Not controlling it. So, what I want to share with you is three types of meditation that I really like that will help you get through that first little bit and that urge to want to kind of control as opposed to just notice. All right, so the first type of meditation for people who don't like to meditate is what I call a sound meditation. So, this is a meditation where instead of focusing on your breath, you actually focus on trying to notice all the sounds around you. So I first tried this meditation actually in an airport, a full airport with people buzzing around, and there was announcements on the PA system, and I could hear people having conversations around me. And the way that you want to approach this type of meditation is you simply close your eyes and you just listen and you notice. The idea is to try to have such a wide, almost unfocused view of what you're hearing, impression of what you're hearing, that it becomes almost like an orchestra, and all of the sounds are like different instruments in the orchestra. And a really good way to do this, if you like to kind of systematize it, is perhaps as you're sitting there and you've got your eyes closed, perhaps you're going to start by listening to the things that are closest to you. So whether that's maybe your heartbeat, or if you're kind of shuffling around and moving around, you can hear those sounds. And then you can kind of start thinking about the sounds that are coming from the room that you're in. And then perhaps you can expand that listening to sounds that are coming from other rooms inside the building that you're in. And then perhaps expand that to hear the sounds that are outside, perhaps sirens or traffic or something like that. So, what this does is it helps us to simply be and notice without trying to change things. Sounds are a really easy way to notice that things just appear, and it's kind of out of our control, right? The sounds that we notice, uh, we have no control over which sounds we are going to notice next. So it's a really, really great way to rest the mind and to not try to control, just like we would do if we were trying to do a breathing meditation. All right, the second type of meditation would be what I call a physical meditation. There's a few different versions of this. You may have heard of a walking meditation where you simply walk, and you walk as slowly as you can possibly walk. So again, this is another way of, hey, instead of trying to control the breath, or you can focus all your attention simply on what it feels like to walk. And you could do this with any other kind of physical repetitive movement. You could do it while washing dishes. Now, you could make the argument that that's not necessarily a type of meditation, that it's more of a mindfulness practice. But I think that it fulfills the same purpose. And so it can be really helpful. So walking meditation would fall into this category. Mindful housework would fall into this category. Probably even something like yoga or Tai Chi could fall in this category. So if you're the kind of person who wants to get into meditation, but you're having trouble doing it on your own, something like a physical practice, like a yoga or Tai Chi, or simply a walking meditation would be a really, really great place to start. All right, the last one I want to share with you takes a little bit longer. This is called Yoga Nidra meditation. And this I discovered about 5 or 6 years ago when I was actually pregnant for my son. And this is such a great way to meditate. So it has usually three components where you focus on a few different things over the course of the meditation. Generally, a yoga nidra meditation takes at least 20 minutes, but it tends to be a little bit easier to get it done when you have a little bit more time, like half an hour to a full hour is best. But essentially, what you're doing with a yoga nidra meditation is you are shifting your attention from the physical sensations in your body to your thoughts or your intention for the meditation to sensations in the outside world. And so you're kind of moving from one to the other. So what this does is it kind of gives you a little bit of a distraction, gives your brain something to do, which might kind of defeat the purpose in some ways, but there's been a lot of really, really great research on this particular kind of meditation, and the effect that it has is akin to self-hypnosis. And so I find that when I do this type of meditation, I feel completely rejuvenated afterwards, and I oftentimes, if I set a proper intention, will get some very important insights on the things that I'm working on in my life. So, for if you do decide that you want to go yoga nidra meditation as a type of meditation, what I would recommend is getting a guided audio meditation, so on YouTube or podcast or something like that. And you can find some really good ones out there, or to find a teacher at, let's say, a yoga studio or something like that who can help you with that. All right, there you have it, folks. 3 types of meditation for people who do not like to meditate.